forecast straight ahead. Diane.
So this is what happened. A semi-accident there outbound into Bishop Ford right at Cottage Grove. Well, that created a fuel leak. The semi was leaking fuel, so they had to upgrade that to a hazmat response, which means more equipment comes in to clean up all of that fuel spill. Well, in the midst of all of them doing that, now we've got traffic situation. So we've got a backup from 95th over to Cottage Grove. Over on the Rhine, I was mentioning we have all lanes blocked because of a dump truck accident. Everything has been cleaned off and moved to the right lane. This is right at 47th. So we are seeing some visible improvement there. So that is some good news. And then if you go ahead and check the transit, CTA, Metro, Pace, everything right.
And breaking overnight, two Northside business owners are waking up to news that somebody broke into their restaurants just a few minutes apart. Jessica D'Onofrio is live in Lincoln Park with the new information. Jessica.
Tanya, the store owner of this cake shop, tells me she feels sad, she feels violated, and that cameras were rolling when the break-in happened. Police are reviewing that surveillance footage from inside the specialty.
It's disgusting, and it's, you think you're in a safe neighborhood like Lincoln Park, and, you have an alarm system and surveillance cameras, and you think you're protected, and you're just not.
The owner says despite the burglary, she will be open for business today. Reporting live in Lincoln Park, Jessica D'Onofrio, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Jessica, thank you.
A woman has died after she was hit riding her bicycle in Mount Prospect. 55-year-old Ahmed Ali are preparing to say their final goodbyes.
Yeah, the champ planned a massive memorial in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky before passing away. And today, his legacy will be remembered. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is live in Louisville. Elizabeth, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Terrell and Tanya. And yes, later today, thousands will be packed inside this arena behind me here, where they will be paying their final respects. Now, to get inside, you do need a ticket, and we are told 15,000 tickets were made available, and they were all gone in 25 minutes. Fans and friends. Now, the city, together with the Ali family, also arranged to have the ceremony live streamed outside. This because they learned that scalpers were actually trying to sell the tickets that were given away for free. We're live in Louisville. I'm Elizabeth Herr for ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right. I appreciate it, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Eyewitness News this afternoon, starting at 4.
The fiancé of former Chicago Mayor Harold Washington has died. Mary Ellis Smith.
Business license expired.
The state of Indiana wants an organization that installs so-called baby boxes to remove them. And President Obama also has officially endorsed Hillary Clinton, saying he can't think of a more qualified candidate.
She's got it.
Overnight hours, but I want to talk about one of the big stories over the weekend. It even includes today, our little summer sampler we're dishing up today. Highs today are going to reach the low 90s, even at the lakefront. Tomorrow is going to be hot. Heat index readings possibly between 95 and 100 degrees. Thunderstorms, a few possible Saturday evening. A lot of uncertainty still with that, however. Here in the city, rain has ended. However, rain still continuing around Rensselaer right now, just south of DeMott. And then across some of the northern suburbs, Highland Park right now, Lake Forest still holding on to some rain, but the lightning has really come to an end. You can see the warmth already building. Pontiac at 74, Ottawa at 73. It's 63 degrees right now at O'Hare. These temperatures are going up. They'll be going up pretty fast here today as well. But once we get rid of this last area of rain this morning, we're done with rain for the day. Diane?
And with all that rain, it could have been a lot worse. So far, so good. However, we are still seeing problems, as I mentioned, on the Bishop Ford. And it all started with a semi-accident. Now the semi leaking fuel, so they had to make this a level 1 hazmat, which means basically they bring in enough equipment to clean this all up. Well, because of that, it's causing some delays. It's outbound in the Bishop Ford right at Cottage Grove, and we do have delays now from before 95th. So if you are in that area, you know what's going on there. Columbia Avenue and Gosselin Street, that's in Hammond. We have a crash there as well. Tanya and Terrell, back to you.
Appreciate it, Diane. Thanks. At 5:09 coming up, you'd think your debit card would have more money on it than a gift card.
You'd hope so.
You're watching Judy Sue, Terrell Brown, weather with meteorologist Tracy Butler, and Roz Barron's traffic. ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
In our Money Matters report, a bit of relief this morning for the financially troubled Puerto Rico, plus a Twitter heist reveals the most common password. I have a feeling I know what it is. I guessed earlier. I think I might be right. We are going to go to Maribel as soon as we can. I guess she's not able to check in with us from the NASDAQ just yet, but for now, we're going to go back to Terrell.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. It is 5:13, and Tracy.
And good morning to you. We did have some thunderstorms in the area overnight, but that rain is easing up. The thunder is ending. We're going to be rain-free the rest of the day, but heating things up big time, and we'll talk about that coming up.
There are a lot of people that are like, no. Angela, who's watching this morning, no, definitely not a fan of the heat and humidity. Terry, who's also watching right now, no to the heat, no to the humidity, and my hair also says no to
All right, I feel you on the hair.
her hair,
I feel you on the hair.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's crazy. You complain about the cold, you complain about the heat.
Yeah, but a lot of people are embracing it as well. There's the other camp.
Yeah.
That camp can root for on my Facebook page, okay?
Chime in. We want to hear from you. We'll read some of these responses through the show this morning.
This is great.
That's good.
Very good survey, and the survey says it is going to be hot and humid throughout the day today, but in place, some bunkers. Yeah, it looks a little challenging, and a lot of water out there, too. Well, Marengo Ridge, that's our forecast featured today, heating up quickly. 9 a.m. tea time, you have yourself in the 70s, mid-80s by noon. Just head out I-90, jump off 20, Harmony Hill, you're there. All right, radar picture right now. No rain in the Marengo area at this point. As we take you a little closer in, much of the rain moving out over the lake, although across southern Wisconsin right now, as you can see, there are still some showers, even a couple of thunderstorms there, and we'll bounce things over into northern Indiana. Rensselaer, you are still getting some rain right there. Take a look at the rainfall totals over the past 24 hours, and my goodness, that rain lasted forever. Yesterday morning, quieted things down latter part of the afternoon, but then during the overnight hours, that's where we picked up over an inch of rain, Lake Geneva area, and down in through Mundelein, Libertyville. My weather watcher, Rich and Gurney, said he had about 0.8 of an inch of rain there. Lightning, yeah, not visible around Chicago right now. You have to get up to about Milwaukee and Sheboygan to find it there. But today and tomorrow going to feel a lot more like summer. Posting a high of 93 today and 93 tomorrow. Last time we had a 90-degree day here was in September. So there you see, we're working our way up into the 90s here this afternoon. And even along the lakefront, we'll have high temperatures reaching those low 90s today. Well, right now at O'Hare, it's cloudy. It's 63. AccuWeather showing that the dew point is 62 degrees. So the humidity is already building. 67 in Cicero. It is 72 in Hammond. That warm front is lifting northward, and that's going to contribute the warmth, certainly. So a lot of cloud cover right now. A little farther out to the west, you get to Sterling, you get to Galena. Skies are clearing, and we will see some sunshine around the area here today. Overnight tonight, possibly a couple of thunderstorms, but what we will really watch for is tomorrow evening, the potential for a few thunderstorms around 2. And the Storm Prediction Center actually has us under a slight risk for any storms to be severe, more on a scattered basis versus isolated. Still a lot of uncertainty. I keep saying that with the models, but they're not exactly coming together on that. Mainly cloudy, some showers, storms, they are departing this afternoon. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sticky, and especially tomorrow, too. Diane?
And this is indeed a crash. It's on the Ryan. It's outbound right at 95th, and it does involve a semi. So they've got the left lane closed on the outbound side of the Ryan. You know that's going to start causing a little bit of a delay in that area as the traffic starts to build. Outbound in the Bishop Ward, still watching this situation, but things are getting better. Cottage Grove, we had a semi leaking fuel. Now we've got the fuel all gone. We still have the semi there, but they're working to get this cleaned up. So this should get out of the way fairly soon, if not by my next live report. Things are looking really good and moving nicely. Let's go ahead and check some of your travel times at on the northbound side of I-57. So hopefully things will start getting quiet before it gets really busy out there.
Yeah. All right, Diane, we'll check back in a little bit.
Okay. And on our app as well.
A lot to do this weekend. Try to stay cool, too. At 5:22, coming up next, airline pilots' mental health question.
Why the Fed say psychological tests are not effective.
And later with mental health problems weeks earlier.
The FDA is under fire for taking too long to recall food that's not safe for you to eat. A government review says even after it's been determined a product that is contaminated, a recall can take several weeks, and in one case...
Usually 1 or 2 in each school affected.
Claypool promises hundreds of other schools will be tested by the end of the school year.
Time now, 5:26, a breaking news update after a sheriff's deputy and another person were shot overnight. The major break in the investigation coming up.
And good morning to you this morning. Well, had a dose of rain in the area overnight, but it is departing Chicago as we speak. But what is moving in? The temperatures, and they are going up and away into the 90s. So we will have a complete look at your forecast, and that is coming up, Diane.
And Tracy, you're still seeing...
Alec Baldwin, Aaron Tveit, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He's no rock. He's like a boulder that ate another boulder and then bench pressed a mountain.
Next live.
Today at 9 on ABC 7.
Let me tell you now, I don't do this.
Some of us like it.
Yeah.
And let's find out exactly how hot it's going to be. Wow, we could get a suntan standing in front of this thing. Or sitting. Let's go to Tracy with the
Morning. There's a lot of lightning around, but the good news is much of that moving out over the lake and really dissipating across the area right now. So as we do take a look, there you see Rensselaer right now. You are getting mainly light rain at this time. And then up across some of the far northern suburbs, if you're in Winthrop Harbor or Zion, still holding on to some rain there, but we no longer have any thunderstorms around the area. It is 72 degrees already in Whiting, 72 degrees in Ottawa, 62 degrees right now in Hampshire. So the plan for today, heating things up into the 90s, your complete forecast, it is straight ahead. Tanya and Terrell.
Gonna get hot, really hot. Yeah, good to be with you. I'm Terrell Brown.
It's humid already. I'm Tanya Mavich for Judy Sue. Let's get a look at your first alert forecast now. At 6 o'clock with meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Yeah, for folks craving summer in these last days of spring, you're going to get it today and tomorrow. But we did get some rain overnight. It is coming to an end, however, and the rest of our day should be dry. It's 67 right now at the lakefront. It is 67 degrees out at Midway, Bradley at 70, Pontiac at 74 degrees. Woodstock now at 62 degrees. So our temperatures are going to be soaring. We're headed up into those low to possibly a couple of spots mid-90s this afternoon. And then the weekend, that's going to bring some heat around here tomorrow, too. So we'll have a complete look at your forecast coming up, Diane.
Things are not smooth sailing. We do have some travel times are on the rise. And then we have this ongoing situation on the Bishop Ford, which is causing major delays. It's outbound right at Cottage Grove. Everything has been moved to the right lane after a semi crash, and that semi was leaking fuel. It was a hazmat situation for a while, and they periodically closed more than one lane, but now they've got everything on the right lane, and we are hearing that this should be reopened soon. But until then, we've got heavy delays approaching Cottage Grove, and then we've got heavy delays on the inbound side with Gapers as well. So if you do take the Bishop Ford, avoid this area, at least for now, until they get it all cleaned up. Otherwise, everything is looking really good. Tanya and Terrell, back to you.
Thanks, Diane. Breaking overnight, 2 break-ins at 2 Chicago businesses just minutes apart. They were early this morning in Lincoln Park. Jessica D'Onofrio is live along Clybourne there. Jess.
Tanya, the store owner of this cake shop, tells me she's sad, she feels violated, and that cameras were rolling when the burglary happened. Police are Moe's Chinese Sushi Grill, where the back door was pried open. A source says a cash register was taken. Meanwhile, the owner of the cake shop was alerted to the burglary over text message from her security system.
It's disgusting, and it's, you think you're in a safe neighborhood like Lincoln Park, and, you have an alarm system and surveillance cameras, and you think you're protected, and you're just not.
Blocks of North Clark and at Halstead and Wrightwood. Now, the bakery owner here at Nothing But Cake says she will be open for business today despite the burglary. Reporting live in the Lincoln Park neighborhood, Jessica D'Onofrio, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All righty, Jess, and we've got some
Breaking news update as Chicago police questioned 2 more people in the shooting and injuring of a 6-year-old girl in Logan Square. Jalen Bermeo in Mount Prospect. 55-year-old Joni Beaudry was on Weller Lane when she crossed.
as the Democratic Party unites behind her historic run for the White House.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is the latest to pledge her support, and she wasted no time taking jabs at Republican Donald Trump during an appearance on MSNBC. I'm pain. And President Obama also officially endorsed Hillary Clinton, saying he can't think of a more qualified candidate.
Story around here is going to be the heat. Now, today, our high temperatures are going to reach the low 90s, even at the lakefront. Tomorrow, hot with that heat index reading between 95 and 100 potentially. And we do have some thunderstorm possibilities in our forecast, especially for tomorrow evening. Had some thunderstorms in the area overnight. However, as you can see, rain out over the lake right now. It is 63 degrees out at O'Hare, 67 currently at Midway. It is 64 degrees at Wrigley, 67 degrees at the Cell, and in Westmont now, 65 degrees. So here we go, on our way up. You can see by noontime, we'll be into the mid-80s today, but we are going to post high temperatures this afternoon up into those low 90s. Diane.
Speaking just into the traffic office, it's on the Edens, have a crash on the exit to the Old Orchard ramp. It's actually going inbound, and it's a car hit the poles. Then we've got a utility pole out as well. So keep that in mind. And then I want to check in with our Wazers because they told us about Tanja and Terrell.
All right, Diane, appreciate it. Thanks. 6:08 coming up, a decision about pilot health and your safety in the skies.
And Chicago
Brown, Judy Sue. Weather with meteorologist Tracy Butler and Roz Varen's traffic.
Event organizer, he joins us now live this morning. Hey, Todd, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's good to have you this morning. Look, fill us in on what's happening out there right now. Anything going on?
Yeah, so we are getting ready to put the boats.
It's going to be fun to watch. 6:13 coming up. White Sox fans have a reason to celebrate this morning. A victory and why there's new hope this morning for more Southside success. That's coming up.
A live look at the morning commute. Your travel times are coming up next.
And a look at the bus stop forecast, too. And we do have the rain. It's out of here. We will see some sunshine here this afternoon. Temperatures are warming up. Well, your complete forecast, and that's straight ahead.
Aaron Tveit and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He's no rock. He's like a boulder that ate another boulder and then bench pressed a mountain.
Next live.
Today at 9 on ABC 7.
Not require airplane pilots to take psychological tests. The FAA says those tests are actually ineffective because they reveal the pilot's mental health only for a moment in time. Now, this
Poll on Facebook has more people not liking this heat.
Is that right?
Than liking. Oh, yeah. Berta Jackson, who's watching right now, said, nope, hate it, that, and hot flashes. I'm just going to walk in the sprinklers this weekend. I'm with you, Berta. I'm feeling you on that one.
Terrell and Berta.
That's it. We're going to be in the sprinklers.
Here we go. Put the camera out to that.
Well, we did have some sprinkling going on overnight, even more than just sprinkling. We had some pretty good thunderstorms in the area over. How much rain we did get in some areas, especially up across Lake County and then into Walworth County, Wisconsin. Some of you picking up between an inch and an inch and a half worth of rain. But today and tomorrow are going to feel more like summer. And in fact, the last time we had a temperature in the 90s was last September on the 6th. We hit 92 degrees. I think today and tomorrow we could see 93 degrees, very attainable. We'd hit that in between these hours this afternoon. So we're looking at a southwest wind. That is going to aid the lakefront temperatures in getting quite warm, too. You see, even up around Zion and northwest Indiana, where often you get the impact of the lake breeze, not so much today. Well, right now at O'Hare, getting reports of some fog. It's 63 degrees there. AccuWeather showing the dew point to 61. When we get those dew points up in the 60s, you know it's starting to get more muggy. It is 62 in Buffalo Grove. It is 62 in Palatine, 65 degrees right now, Lombard. Coal City, Mantino, Pontiac, all reaching the 70s already, as well as that temperature in Gary, too. So right now, we just have mainly cloudy skies. And once again, we're starting to see a little fog creeping in as those dew points are creeping up, too. But you do see the clearing that is well out to the west, and so that bodes well for us to see some sun today. Our futurecast is having a decaying area of thunderstorms overnight across central and southern Wisconsin. It looks like it will lose its steam by the time it does get to Chicago here tomorrow morning, but we could still have a few lingering showers into tomorrow morning. I'm a little more concerned about the possibility of a few thunderstorms here, mainly tomorrow evening. And in fact, the Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk for any of those thunderstorms to become severe tomorrow evening. But as of right now, still a lot of uncertainty, some disagreement with the models, so we'll just continue to monitor that. This morning, mainly cloudy. Showers and storms have departed. It is going to become humid around here today. That is for sure. So tomorrow also, hot with those isolated thunderstorms definitely in the mix. I think tomorrow we're looking at those heat index readings possibly in the mid to upper 90s. And once again, just a reminder, some thunderstorm possibilities in here Saturday evening. But then Sunday, looking good toward a cure on Sunday. So far, the weather looking as though that's going to be pretty good Sunday morning, Diane.
Watching several incidents for you. This one, we want to say thank you to our Wazers who first told us about a crash outbound on the 190 right at Mannheim that is founded, and crews are there getting this cleaned up and out of the way. And then we also have another situation, and this is actually on the outbound Rhine that I told you about early this morning. I'm talking about 4:30 in the morning. There was a dump truck that turned over, spilled trash all over the roads. They had to close all the express lanes and the local lanes to get it cleaned up. So now it's all been shifted to the right lane. We still have this closed at 47th Street. So there will be a delay. In fact, you can see it right there in our snapshot. Let's go ahead and check in with our Wazers if we can. Very busy I-57 at 23 minutes as well. So I knew it was going to get bad.
About to say, it was coming. Yeah, figures, Diane.
We're glad you're here to fill us in on it.
Yeah, thank you.
Time now, 6:22. Teenagers are having a lot less sex. What they're doing more of instead at 6:30.
And today's Tech Bites Uber is making it a little easier to plan ahead. The ride-sharing service is
week in San Francisco. And starting next week, you'll have to be at least 18 years old to swipe at love.
Tinder users.
And those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
The White Sox stopped their slide and retooled their roster all in one night.
And then there's the Cubbies out in Atlanta, where they'll take on the Braves tonight.
They made some roster moves.
At 6:27, a data breach at a fast food chain may be worse than we at first thought. What you need to know coming up.
And remember,
rain has exited the area, but the heat, it's going to be moving on in. We're looking for high temperatures today, headed up into the 90s. And we'll see some sun around the area as well. We'll have a complete look at your forecast coming up.
Right at York Road, we do have a crash. We do have heavy traffic approaching that scene. And also, thanks to our Wazers, outbound in the I-90, right at Mannheim, we have a crash there as well. So some big delays out there, so definitely give yourself some extra time this morning. We're back with more news, weather, and traffic after this short break. Stay with us.
Change.
Yeah, it's going to get hot, really hot. Let's get on over to Tracy to talk about how warm it's going to be, Trace.
Yeah, so we got rid of the rain in time for the morning commute. That's good news. Live Doppler 7 Max showcasing that. But the numbers are going to be going up. And right now, 63 at O'Hare. At the lakefront, 68 degrees. It is 71 degrees currently in Bradley. In Berwyn at 66. Westmont 65. 63 degrees right now at Edison Park. So this afternoon, just how hot is it going to get? We're headed for the 90s here this afternoon, possibly for the first time since last September. We'll talk more about that coming up. Diane.
You can see in an ongoing situation on the Ryan. That's what I wanted to update you on right now. It's basically the locals, right lane closed right at 47th with a much earlier dump truck that rolled over and there was trash all over the lanes. They've got everything cleaned up. But now it's all pushed over to the right lane, and it is causing a delay as you look at that snapshot from the scene. So do know that as you head on out. Otherwise, as I mentioned, travel times are on the rise. We'll check in with some of those travel times coming up a little later. Terrell, back to you.
Diane, this is breaking for another in Lincoln Park overnight. One was on Fullerton, the other on Clybourne. Jessica D'Onofrio is out there live for us this morning. Jessica.
Terrell, the owner of the cake shop here, tells me that the man who broke in was wearing a hoodie, a camouflage jacket kind of hoodie, and he also had some orange gloves on.
We have cameras and we have a lot of footage from entry to exit, so, you know, we will be replacing our alarm system today. And
de convenciones.